What's happening, everybody? Len with 715 Outdoors. I planned on hunting this whole weekend, but God had other plans for me. Got a flat tire I had to deal with. Got a leaky transmission cooler line that I got to deal with. So since I'm not hunting, I am going to basically improve my shooting. I've been watching videos on how to shoot more accurately. And so I'm going to implement a couple of the things that I found were really helpful and just see what happens. So come with me. I'm going to show you the things that I'm going to do, and we'll see if my shooting accuracy increases. Because here's the thing. I am not super confident outside of 25 yards. And 25 yards is not that far, right? So I'm not getting the nice tight groups that I would like to, that I get at 10, 15, 20, and 25 yards. I don't get that at 30, 35, 40 yards. So today, I'm going to implement some of the strategies that I found right here on YouTube, and I'm gonna show you just what happens. And we'll go through this journey together and see if implementing these strategies works. All right, guys, so there are three things that this video that I watched, that's again linked down below in the description, required to improve your shooting. These are the three primary things. So the tools that I'm using are black duct tape, orange spray paint, and a Sharpie. So the first tip or one of the tips, these aren't in any particular order, but one of the tips was to number your arrows, because there are some arrows that, even though they are alike, there may be some nuance difference in the way that they're weighted because of the amount of glue that was used to put in the screw-ins for the broadheads or whatever. So what we can do is try to pattern which of our arrows flies the best and the most accurately. So let's get started by numbering our arrows. I have 9 of them here, and what I'm shooting here are Carbon Express DS Destroyer 400 spine with a 100 grain field tip on it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a big X right over the target, and that's going to give us a little bit more contrast and help our eyes really focus on the center of that target. To do that, I have black Gorilla Tape. Okay, I think you can probably kind of get the idea of what's going on here, right? We'll get a really good idea of what this looks like at a distance. But now, got orange paint, and I also made just a little cutout in a piece of plastic here, so I can really make my size the way I want it. There's what I got. I'm gonna let this sit for a minute and dry while I set up my bow and my arrows. I'll come back for this and we'll shoot and see what kind of difference we get out of it. So here's what it looks like at 20 yards from my vantage. Let's see if you notice a difference there. Let's zoom in there. There's a view from 30, and I can already see the benefit of this. And here's the view from 40 yards at 3x. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up my camera at next to the target from 20 yards so you can see the arrows as they hit. And I'm shooting from 20 yards first because that's kind of my comfort zone. That's kind of a warm-up distance for me to make sure that I'm hitting everything in the pickle barrel, and that I know if I miss at 20 yards, there's something wrong with my sight. It's probably not something that I'm doing. I don't have that kind of confidence at 25 and 30 yards yet, but that's the purpose of today. So let's get it set up and show you what we're doing. 20 yards. Okay, so this is really interesting, is it not? So right now my most accurate arrows, number 6, number 9, number 8, and number 5. Arrow number 2, shooting right, probably 4 or 5 inches. Number 3, I think I messed this one up personally, but that was really low, like basically in the ground and right. Number 1, 4, and 7 are high and left. Are those still kill shots? That's the question. Well, I feel a lot better about the first one, so let's do a second round and see how we turn out. So overall, this is just a way better group, right? That's a way tighter shot group with 9 arrows, and I feel good about all of them, to be honest with you. So let's see what our outliers are here. Over here on the right, we have number 2, and we have number 5 off to the right. Those are our outliers. Shooting just a little bit high with number 8, and 8 was one of the better ones last time, but look, that's a kill shot. And let's see here, number 4 is off the tape. So these are all shots I would feel super comfortable. Well, wait, I got a low one here, and that is number 7. And number 7 was an outlier last time. So that's cool. That's good to know. So last time I had number 6, 8, and 9 that were really the big winners. And look, 6 and 9 are right here. This is number 6 coming out. And here is number 9 on the paint. Number 9 is on the paint, and then number 1 is on the paint. And number 3 is awfully close to the paint. All right, let's stretch out to 30 yards and see what we can do. You should know I've struggled to sight in my bow at 30 yards, so I'm hoping that this helps me to dial it in. Like I said, I don't have confidence at 30 yards. I don't get shot groups like that at 30 yards. So let's see if this is gonna help, or maybe I need to actually dial in my sights a little bit more. So let's check it out. Okay, so 6, 8, and 9 have traditionally been my best arrows the last couple of rounds. So number 6 here is a little low and right. Okay. Number 5 came in on the tape to the right. And number 8 is nice. Number 8's a pretty nice shot. What do we got here? Here's number 9. Right on the tape. So 6, 8, and 9, and let's throw 5 in there, are all looking pretty good. Now number 7 isn't terrible either. A little low. I would probably still regard that as a kill shot. Although I might have some tracking. Number 4, I would be tracking. And of course these were my 3 controls. my first one. So let's go ahead and do a little bit more shooting and see where we come down. Number 6, high and left. That's what I'm gonna go for 6, 8, and 9 because those were my best arrows at 20 traditionally. So 6 is here. 8. 8 is low and right. Where's number 9? Number 9 is low and right. My best arrows were number 7, which was a little high. 4 and 5 were actually my 2 best. I would consider those kill shots. Number 1 and 3, high and right, and number 2, low and right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do some shooting at 30 yards, and I'm just going to see if I can, pardon me, I'm gonna see if I can tighten up my shot groups, and I'll come back when I feel like I have at least half of these arrows are kill shots. But not only that, but see if I have identified what my 3 actual best arrows are. So I want you guys, if you can, to critique my form down in comments. I'm gonna set up the camera down where I'm shooting. Tell me how you feel about my anchor point, my stance, my breathing, anything that you see that's wrong. I need to hear about it, y'all. You're the experts. This is YouTube. Help a brother out. Pulled that one. So it's interesting, this time arrows 1, 2, and 3 were my most accurate. All 3 were kill shots. 5 was close enough that I probably would have had a kill shot, but questionable. It's always hard to say, right? But what I like about this so far is visually it's way better for my eye, way better. The other thing with the tape on there, I can hear when the arrow hits the tape. There is an audible difference in how I'm shooting as well. So it's good to have 2 levels of feedback on that. So I'm gonna keep shooting, see what happens. I gotta go pick up lunch for my daughter. She's at work, and I promised. So just to give you an update, number 1 and 2 were both kill shots. I had number 6 up high to the left, and everything else was just above the tape to the right in a line. So it was a nice tight shot group. So that's what I see now in my third. Every time I shoot, the group is getting tighter. So I'm gonna leave everything set up, and I'm gonna go get Chloe some lunch and myself. I haven't even eaten today yet, and I'll be back to do some more shooting. Okay guys, so I've been shooting basically at 30 yards. I feel really very good at 30 yards. 40 yards, I need more practice. I don't have anything consistent, and I'm about to try 50 yards. Now, when I'm at a distance like 50 yards, I have what I call sacrifice arrows I don't mind losing, just to see if I can get on the paper at that distance. So I'm gonna try. I got a 350 and a 500. I shoot 400s. I got 100 grain broadheads in there, so we'll see. I'm only at a 55 pound draw. Shooting at 40 feels like the edge of my range, just on the basis of the gap between the arrow releasing and the arrow making contact with the target. but I think it's useful to stretch your distances and practice. All right, guys, so this is an absolute win as far as I'm concerned. And that's not to say that my shooting is good or that it's even really improved, but it gives me a better visual picture. There's just no question about that. From 50 yards, I can see that orange dot sticking out. It's just better. And so you can do this with really any target that you have, in my opinion. Maybe you have a black target, put silver duct tape on it and do this test. You know, I thank the makers of the video, whose name that I forget now, but the link to that video is down below. I'm gonna keep shooting. I'm gonna keep trying to dial in 40 yards and just get my confidence up there. One thing, 50 yards out of range for my bow, just in terms of the time that it's taking to get there. Again, I'm set at 55 pounds because I'm an old guy and I want my shoulders to last for the long term. So here I am at 50 yards and I'm zoomed in 3x snap, but there's 0.5 and there is normal. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'd love some critiques on my shooting form, and give me any tips. Anything helps. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Like, subscribe, share. Peace.